Hey, what's up, everybody?
The people in the churches believe that's still a good thing.
We are out here in Rockwall County.
Well, they got a major propaganda machine.
Yes.
You know, if
We are doing
the
some
state has a Facebook page, they post only
fully informed jury association. I lost connection. All right, hold on, guys. All right, we're back. We got Bob here. Bob's going to tell us what he a little bit about what he's about. Hey, safety man, Sam reports. Thanks, guys, for coming in. All right, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I'm the state contact for the Fully Informed Jury Association, and I educate people about their right and power to nullify criminal government. Listen, they're overreaching in a multitude of ways. We've become a land of laws. You hear the politicians talking about how we're a land of laws, not a land of liberty. That's bullshit, right? So what I want to do, especially here in Rockwall County, is I want to canvass the county, have a lot of sign waves. I want to get people involved, and I want to educate the potential jurors about their rights and powers to nullify these bad laws. Just in the last 2 sessions in Austin, they passed 2,000 laws. These cities are passing codes, and those aren't laws, but they're enforcing them. Listen, we've got the largest prison population in the history of the world, 25% of the world's prison population. If the jurors are in their place, this is going to stop. So, I'm handing out brochures. We're doing sign waves. We're going to start doing what we can do to get into if there's any conventions or any activities in this town, so we can make this jury pool fully informed. It's possible. It's the smallest landmass county in the state. I've had people over the last 3 years talk about how crooked this county is and how they need help out here. Would you come distribute flyers? So that's what we're doing here today. We're going to educate people about nullifying this government with 2 very powerful words: not guilty. It is your duty as a juror to judge the law. In Texas, Article 1, Section 8 says that all jurors are to judge the law as well as the facts. But in today's courts, especially here in this county, Rockwall County, the judges are telling the jurors, you have to apply the law as given. I'm a bit sick and tired of the jurors being tampered with. And it's time the jurors knew their rights, that the judges and the prosecution are tampering with the jurors. Did you know that how these jurors are supposed to be picked is they're supposed to be peers? They're supposed to know the defendant. They're not doing that. They're getting people that sympathize with their government ways. They're tampering with them, telling them what they can do and what they can't do in that jury box. And they're getting convictions. Well, we're going to stop that, because the jurors are going to know that the judge is tampering, that the prosecution's working together with the cops. They're all working together. They're a team. They're supposed to be a check and balance on each other. That's not happening. But our jurors in this county are going to know that they're working as a team, that evidence is not being disclosed, that there's evidence that would set people free from the bad prosecutions, and that there's bad laws. And that government, actually, one of the things I want them to know here is that government does create violence. Prohibition is violent, right? Who created prohibition? Government. And we live in a very violent society because of this drug war. And so I want to see that ended here. A lot of us are fellow gun owners. Did you know that there's over 23,000 laws against our right to bear arms in this country? Let that sink in. 23,000 laws that you can't carry a tool to protect yourself and your family. We need to have each other's backs as jurors and protect fellow gun owners. Let people own their bodies, and they can do whatever the heck they want to with their body. As long as nobody hurts anybody else, should be liberty, right? So I would hope that you would get on board with us. Check out our website, FIJA.org. Learn about your rights and powers to nullify this government. I want you to know that, yeah, they say that we're not having trials right now, right? They've got the grand juries operating full tilt, and they're filling up our jail cells right now. They're ruining lives, ruining families over bogus laws. So those people that are getting called to grand jury duty, some people can sign up for grand jury duty. They need to bill a lot of these indictments, right? Or they don't let the prosecutor have an indictment on somebody. Judge the law. Judge the cop. You got that? You are the judge as a juror. Whether it's grand jury or petit jury, you are the judge. The actual judge is supposed to be a referee, but he's not. They dress up in these dresses. They put themselves on a high pedestal, and they scare the shit out of people. Don't let that happen. Stand firm in your principles. All you got is your word, and use those 2 words, not guilty, to the best of your ability. And if you're a grand juror, take your rubber stamp and no bill them bastards. Don't let them have convictions or let people go to trial for bad laws. There's a guy I know, he was at a rally, he asked me one time, he goes, tell me about jury duty. I got called to the grand jury. Long story short, he ended up being the foreman of that grand jury, and he literally let hundreds of people go over 6 months. One person was able to talk to the rest of the grand jurors, right? He got in there. It just takes one person to plant that seed and let liberty grow, and we protect one another. This is the only check and balance we have left on the system. Voting hasn't worked, right? So now we've got to focus on jury duty. And just like alcohol prohibition, the people said no. We want a drink. We want our beer. And I'll tell you a funny case. A guy named George Bevins, and I think it was 1929, he got busted with a bottle of booze. And the jurors took that bottle of booze and they looked at it and they're like, how do we know this is alcohol? So they cracked it. And they all took drinks of it until it was gone. They went to the judge and they said, hey, judge, where's the alcohol? They had to rethink the case and drop it, right? So George ended up being a free man that day because the jurors knew their place. I don't know how long David's gonna let me talk, but I can talk here forever. But I will say this one more thing. You know this, that the grand jury was hijacked in the 1940s by the prosecutor. They control a lot of what's going on in there, and they control the grand jurors, and they tamper with them. We still have a voice there. But we as a people used to come together and make our own grand juries, and we would throw an indictment against crooked politicians. There's a reason your politicians aren't getting thrown out of office, because the grand jurors aren't in their proper place today. If they were in their place today, we would be bringing indictments against all these punks that are ruining our states, right? We don't have that anymore. Look up the Boss Tweed case, and look what the jurors did, the grand jurors did in that case. They actually stopped political corruption. I want that returned, right? So we need to work on the grand jury. We need to work on the petit jury. We need to get rid of the plea bargain, because that's tampering with our justice system, right? That's terrorism. These prosecutors in the state level, 95% of the cases are ending up in a plea deal. At the federal level, it's almost 98%. They're terrorizing defendants to take a plea. They got stacked charges. They had a lot of years And if you dare take your case to trial, they're going to give you something called a trial tax. And they're going to add years onto your sentence. You're going to get a lot more years in jail if you dare take your case to trial. So know this, those people that are taking their cases to trial today really understand that they have a case that they believe that the juror is going to let them go. Those that benefit from plea bargains are the criminals, the ones that actually hurt people. Those are the ones that get off. Then you got innocent people that don't have the money, can't afford an attorney. The prosecution hires an attorney to represent that defendant. So the boss of that defendant's lawyer is the government, the ones that are bringing charges against them. So what do you think is going to happen there? That defendant is going to be greeted, and he's going to be pleaded. That's what's going to happen. This plea bargain needs to end. High bail needs to end. That's a $1 billion a year industry, and they take your money in your homes because your loved ones needed bail. And there's a lot of people sitting in jail right now because they can't afford bail. A lot of innocent people in jail that shouldn't be there. So it's up to us, we the people, to start putting on our mind, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. These laws are bad, not guilty. I want liberty, I want freedom. I want to stop this tyranny. Voting doesn't work. They're stealing our lives. Not only that, since we've got the world's largest prison population, do you know what they do with those prisoners? Especially here in Texas. 105 state penitentiaries. 13 of those are private. 15 federal prisons. 3 of those are private. In the state penitentiaries, they work the prisoners, and they make products. And they teach them woodworking and welding. They mix chemicals. They farm. They do all sorts of things. They don't get paid a dime, not a penny. They don't get anything. They got to work in squalor conditions, heat through 140 degrees, freezing in the winter. And mind you, there's about 30% of those they say are innocent prisoners, by the way, because they had to take the plea bargain. They didn't have the bail money. They couldn't get an attorney. Over 60% of people in prison are in for victimless crimes. So they got these workers in there, right? They want to go after people that smoke pot because they're nice people, right? You don't see bad pot smokers. But they put them in jail and they go to work for these big corporations that run in these jails. And they make product. And the sad thing is, a lot of this product is sold back to the government and the schools at an exponential cost to the taxpayers. Not only that, when you get out of prison, you are a felon. That means you are legally discriminated against for the rest of your life. Think about that. They can never get redeemed. Their life is pretty much over. They can't get a good job. So they come out and they work for companies that make similar products in the prison. There's a company in Fort Worth that makes furniture. They got like about 4 different warehouses. And they 9 out of 10 of their workers are ex-prisoners. They get paid shit pay. But guess what? The company's got a real nice program going. They've got all these housing, little shit housing, that they can put their workers in and make their workers lose probably half of their pay. It goes back to the employer, right? So these ex-felons or these felons are stuck in a position, aren't they? They get meager wages, and they're making a real estate mogul out of this company. That's sick. That's really sick. But it's happening all over. All your warehouses, they hire folks that have come out of the prison system. For every 200 people they hire, I believe it's in 2 years, you got to hire somebody within 2 years out of the prison system. For every 200 people, the company gets $1 million of tax breaks. We need to do something. We need to stop this. We need to talk some common sense into people and expose this government for what they're doing. I don't care where you're at. It's the same government. You got a police state we shouldn't have. You get rid of the drug war, you're going to get rid of most of the police state, right? There's a reason they're down there in the state capitals in D.C. Pushing their agenda to make us safe. It's bullshit. They ain't making us safe. They've created violence. They've made a very violent society for us. And I'll prove that. Look up the alcohol prohibition. Look up what happened prior to alcohol prohibition started. Violence was down. I believe it was 200 cops a year started getting killed. 200 more cops a year started getting killed with alcohol prohibition. And they ended alcohol prohibition because the jurors said not guilty. What happened was the statistics dropped dramatically back to where they were. The violence dropped. Prohibition ended, the violence dropped. Don't you want that? Our legislators aren't going to do right. They're going to legislate what we can and can't do with our own bodies. It's time for us to say, screw you, legislators. Screw this government. Not guilty. 100% not guilty on anything doing with this war on drugs. Anything. But I also want you to know this. Did you know that the drug war was started on racism? 1913, El Paso, Texas. They didn't want migrant workers from Mexico smoking pot. They zeroed in on them, making it illegal. After alcohol prohibition ended, they had a guy that came out of alcohol prohibition, a guy named Harry Anslinger, a white racist. Fuck. Excuse my language. But I can't stand that crap. That bastard said that blacks and Mexicans would be feeling equal to the white man if they smoked pot. That white women would want to have sex with them if pot was smoked. That blacks and Mexicans would listen to the devil's music, jazz and swing. That they would kill their brother if they smoked pot. He lied. The racist white lied. And now we've got families torn apart. And the cops today are enforcing those racist drug laws right now. When's this going to end? When's this racism going to end? When are our communities going to start being safe and caring about one another? And we should all know that vices are not crimes. I would say read some of Lysander Spooner's stuff on that. He was a very big proponent for jury nullification. Listen, you're the founder of FIJA, Larry Dodge, one of the founders. Cool thing he said conscience is king in that courtroom. You bring your conscience in there. You don't hang it on the coat rack. You bring it in there and you vote your conscience. You vote your gut. One person on a jury, 1/12 of us can stop this madness. One person. And their courts will back up and they won't get nothing done. Don't take the plea bargain ever. Don't take it. You're not gonna be able to do anything about the high bail, but if we all say screw your plea bargain, the system shuts down. I'm giving you tools, folks. Let's shut down what this government's doing to us. It's gotta stop. I want you to be free. I want you to have something that's not known here called liberty. I want some peace, and I want some peace to reign in our states and our communities. I was told a pretty startling figure the other day that Johnson County, down in Cleburne, Texas, just southwest of here, has 10% of their population on probation. How many put away? How many of them are off probation? How many of Johnson County? What percentage of Johnson County can't own a gun now because of having the felon title? How many of them can't earn a decent wage? How many people will never reach their full potential because they're not allowed to have true life, to live, to get a license to do something, right? But we shouldn't have to have licenses. I'm against that, actually. Matter of fact, a juror can say not guilty to the government for making someone get a license. You know, if someone's fishing and they don't get a license, you can say not guilty, right? He had a right to feed himself. The king doesn't own that freaking land. We're supposed to get rid of that with the Articles of Confederation. They brought in freedom, didn't they? That revolution was fought for the Articles of Confederation, freedom for the states. Now we got a bunch of licenses, permits, fees, which brings me to the tax man. The juror can say, you know what? That guy doesn't have I'm glad he's not paying those taxes. It's stupid how much he's paying in taxes. Not guilty. Isn't that incredible? So we can fight the DA, the cops, the IRS, CPS, and listen, family courts. I can't tell you all the times I've been called about problems in the family courts right here in Rockwall County, and families are being torn apart, and the jurors aren't being called in because it's so expensive now to have a trial by jury. So families are being ripped apart, children's lives are being ripped apart, and we need to restore the civil trials, those jurors, to bring some common sense in there so these attorneys don't ruin justice. We're the ones that take that scale and bring that scale back up and even out the scales of justice. I've got a website, juryhero.com. So if you get on social media, you can go to that too.
Spell it for me.
JURYHERO.com. And of course, there's a Fully Informed Jury Association on Facebook. Their website is FIJA.org. They've done a lot of great work, and they're going to continue doing a lot of great work, because now you're getting fully informed. You're seeing different levels of corruption, and the answer is not guilty. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Pretty simple, right? And we are going to put away bad guys, and we need to start putting away bad politicians and bad cops. We need to indict these cops that are shooting people in the back. We need the grand jury restored. We need the petite juries restored. We need you. So go to those websites, learn about your rights and powers. If you have any questions, email FIJA or Jury Hero, and get on the social media and share your thoughts, and let's make a difference. Let's start having one another's backs, because this government's all they're gonna do is stab us in the back, right? So let's do something today. Get on that computer and learn about your right and power to nullify. Thanks, Dave.
Still live?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks everybody for checking in. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. We're just out here in Rockwall. So Bob Smilie has been in Texas for a while doing this. I met him a couple years ago. I think at the Guillotine rally. It's the first time I met Bob. But I've seen him around, and he's been wanting to come out here in Rockwall for a while.
Yeah.
Yep, Otto the Watchdog.
Can you take a picture with me, David?
So we're just at the corner of 205 and I-30, frontage road.
Get me in, David. Get the front of the shirt.
Also a Raising Cane. In and out from traffic.
Perfect. How many did you get?
Like 10 or 15.
I didn't hear it.
So fine.
So, no, that's excellent.
Appreciate you, man.
You want in the picture or no?
Well, yeah. I don't need to make it next year.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want any more shirts to take?
Oh, we got some.
Oh, okay.
Have a good day, bud. Take care.
Thank you so much. Good to meet you.
Yeah, it's
I think again. I think we met once.
Again, yeah. Well, it was a little different back then.
Yeah. Right.
But no doubt we forgot.
Hey, I want to know all the ins and outs of how you're getting fucked on your procedures.
Like this.
Well, that's pretty easy, but we need to throw it on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go and start walking these houses and stuff, talking to people, I want to tell them what's going on with patients. I won't mention you, but I will, unless you want. But if we don't want it thrown out, if we have all the people educated, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? So, anything you don't want me to say or say, I will.
Everything's
help
public.
Help me understand how I can tell the people that what they're doing here, the criminality of the court system.
Right.
All right, Otto. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Be safe, brother.
Good time.
Is that too much on there? I talked. If you let me have a soapbox, I'll bore people.
Fine.
Maybe, would you mind if you sent me that video and then
It's on my YouTube channel.
okay. Would you care if I put it on if I like it, or maybe take snippets of it and then put it on my jury here?
I'll make a comment below today. And I'm going to say, hey, Bob, feel free to just in case somebody tries to sabotage you.
Right. Yeah, right. So, what I want to do is, if I can, take some short snippets of it, and just like have a 30-second, video. I can do a bunch of 30-second videos. That was a pretty good interview. Well, and then I can talk to them, have a good conversation. I got a lot to say about this.
People kind of ignore, like those memes where it's like Rosa Parks in the front seat of the bus. Or who arrested her? Right? Like, amazing age, which side of the line?
Right.
I mean, when you talk to most people back then, they might be a little mad. Really never know. There's no footage.
Yeah, well, they bring murder up here too. Up to that. They'll murder you and let her see what they did. They murder him in prison. Schaefer Cox's good friend had a lawsuit against the feds. They didn't like the press that it was getting, so they sent a Muslim dude in there to kill him. And they did. He almost cut the guy's head up. Didn't hear about that in the news. Well, but yeah, there's and the murderer did, still, he didn't get named. Got this doctor that was supposed to be but anyway, that doctor that was working for FIJA exposing what was going on, she's got healthy young lady. You got a lot of doctors, homeopathic doctors in jail. You got like Ross Albright, locked up, shut down, Schaefer Cox, Jeffrey Winehouse, David Hinks. There's a girl in Fort Worth right now, Amy Gonzalez. She, her dad went to the courthouse. Her brother was getting a divorce. Dad went to the courthouse. He had a tumor on his brain. Nobody knows. Brought a gun, shot the ex-wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, in the court. Shot her girlfriend, and shot himself. She wasn't even in the same state on the East Coast. She was here in Texas. They charged her, her brother, her mom. They couldn't really charge them just for that. So anyway, she's in for the rest of her life for a crime her dad did. Schaefer Cox is in for a thought crime. If the government ever comes after us, like Hitler did, we should be ready. Yeah. And they said, oh, you think God's law is higher than man's law? You're crazy. His own attorney said it. No, our law is higher than God's. No, it's not. Well, yeah, we got some messed up things going on in this country. I wouldn't doubt it if I get one of these days I can start getting visits. Is that still on? Yeah. No biggie.
Got 34 people in here. Hey, what's up, Lost Generations? Mrs. B, thank you for coming in. Hey, what's up, Whitebeard? Sam reports. 5-speed, 007. Someone needs to call the cops and report an offensive sign. Damn you, Eric Brand. Good morning, High Pockets. I'll have to go back and watch the video later, guys, and read all the comments. Mental laxative. Pug face. Oh my goodness. Free citizen of Texas. Third Rangers lead the way. Welcome to the channel, buddy. Vet Tech Kimmy. Desert Goat. La Luz, Colorado. Zuma Smokey Bear. Just trying to get people to check us out.
what, 12 miles. So, only 144 smallest county. So, that's the big reason we're gonna make our presence known. Fully Informed Jury Association is 100% behind us. 100% behind us. They're ready. We're ready. And need people to come out and we're going to start going door to door. Every household, every person in this county is going to get a brochure. I want that prosecutor to get a brochure. I want the cops to get a brochure. I want them to know that the jurors are fully informed, and they need to know what they're doing and how criminal they are, especially the courts, for tampering with these jurors. That's got to stop. Come on, Texans. Let's get up on our horse and ride this baby out for victory. We're going to make some changes. See what happened in McLennan County? The bikers? That's because of work the Fully Informed Jury is doing. Got a couple of damn good men down there in McLennan County doing a lot of work for people. All the cases were dropped. 177 of them were dropped. That was the government that set up that whole deal and shot the bikers. Cops showed up hours early, set up cameras, got in sniper position, started that whole mess. You know, the ballistics were never fully done on everything because it was the cops that were shooting everybody. Yeah, a few bikers pulled out their weapons. I believe that there's an insider biker that's with the cops that started that shit. But the jurors said not guilty on the first case. Can you imagine? 177 bikers, 177 families saved, right? Because the jurors knew their place. And a shout out to Matthew Barnes, Eric Schaefer, Randall Scott, Gaines. And I'm sure missing Brent McCain. I'm missing a few, I'm sure, but some solid folks down there in and around Waco. At that courthouse every time jurors are called now. We've got probably over 30,000 citizens with brochures. These brochures in their hands learn about what it means to be a fully informed juror. They know their position in that courtroom to judge the government. I think McLennan County is going to be a lighthouse for Texas and the nation. And Rockwall will too. It's going to take some work. We need people like the guys I just mentioned, like David stepping up to the plate here. So, people step up to the plate, things get done. And I want to do this on a mass scale. So, you know somebody in the school system? We want them to start teaching jury qualifications to the students. The churches are being shut down, right? So, we need jurors to back those people who want to partake in religious things. We want people for free, to participate in free speech and to gather. They're arresting people for free speech now, right? There's a guy that was Otto. He was arrested for free speech. Political prisoner Schaefer Cox arrested for a thought crime. What if Hitler ever happened? The Hitler situation ever happened in the United States? We better be armed. He's in prison right now, and he just got out of the secret CMU prison. He's still on lockdown, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week right now.
We have like 7 CMUs in the school.
2. There's one CMU in Marion, Illinois. There's another CMU in Terre Haute, Indiana. Congress at one time went to the Federal Bureau of Prisons and said, hey, who created these CMUs? We didn't. And by the way, who's funding the CMUs? We're not funding it. What does that tell you about your federal government, folks? They monitor people's speech. They shut Schaefer Cox down. They wouldn't let him talk to anybody without being monitored. I've got personal friends that cannot communicate with him because they were making a difference in his life. But I'm going to carry that torch now. I'm going to help Schaefer. A lot of other folks too. There's a guy in there named David Hinksley. He's got cancer right now. They're not letting him go. He's dying. He's in the same prison as Schaefer. He created colloidal waters that were helping people cure them. He also created a motor that made electricity for under half of the cost of what's being charged today. The government and their cronies couldn't have that, could they? So they got him locked up, and unfortunately he's dying a slow death right now. Very mean people. Very mean government.
Very evil, very sadistic.
They've taken Schaefer Cox at times and stripped him down naked and 4-point shackled him. And they freeze his cell where the water freezes in his toilet. And they make it so hot in the cell that you can't touch the surface, right? That is the United States government doing that. Schaefer didn't have fully informed jurors. He had a tampered jury. They didn't allow evidence in. They didn't allow witnesses in. They moved it so far away from his stake and couldn't have people there being his witness. The FBI used criminals to lie about Schaefer. That's the only way they could get him to lie about garbage. That Schaefer was going to have a kill list of judges and cops in the last Elizabeth Spain. The Ninth Court of Appeals a couple of years ago reversed the solicitation charges. They kept the conspiracy charges. How can you have conspiracy if you're not trying to go out and get somebody to do something? So they still got him in prison on bullshit charges. The feds also said that he was trying to make a silencer. He stuck shaving cream in a rifle. They said that it was a silencer. That's bullshit. Again, we need jurors to have fellow gun owners' backs. They say he's not guilty. Bad prosecution. Talk all day, David.
Well, you're entertaining them. We have 5 more viewers. Hey, what's up, M-Star? Northern Corruption. Behind the scenes, Carolina. You have rights. Cop watch audits. Starburst people. Oh my gosh. So we're here in Rockwall. Over there is where Otto got arrested for flipping off a cop while he's at the gas station getting gas. Over here is where I caught him filming, or I caught and filmed him worshiping the police officer. And then over there, I can't tell you, see the courthouse, but that's where they're trying to screw him over. Not just him, but see, a lot of us think that it's just us. we only get to see it now because firsthand because we're in it. They've been screwing people over for decades, if not generations and centuries. We are just now seeing it firsthand. So it's not just auto getting screwed over. It's been generations of our fellow brothers and sisters getting screwed over. And we're just now getting to see it firsthand. So like when Bao or Freeman or any of us get hosed, Padilla, then, you know, we're like, oh wow, that's crazy. They're you know, targeting us. You know, it might be partially true, but that's just what they do. It's their system. They've been doing it for eons, and we are just now seeing it firsthand. So, you know, we're just trying to bring light to it and help spread the word and educate people. So hopefully we get to get a few people that have seen the sign today to go check it out on their smartphones and look it up later. Looks like they're doing some construction work up there, or maybe cleaning up some trash up there, hopefully. But we're here in Rockwall trying to just inform people, educate them, hopefully maybe get their minds going a little bit. Because we have way too many people in jail and in prisons that shouldn't be there. Way too many people. We allow these evil doers, we allow these evil people that worship the state, worship the devil, to ruin people's lives over crimes that aren't even crimes. And then a lot of times the actual criminals out there, they get lost on the wayside because police are too worried about, you know, taillights being burnt out, or someone not using a blinker, or somebody not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign for 3 seconds, or somebody in jail. I mean, it's just insane. What's up, Peanut 411, Jason Bet? Arizona Supreme Court, Gibson versus Boyle. With no injured party, a complaint is invalid and on its face.
So we get out here and we put a brochure in everybody's hand. Every household has a brochure. What do you think that's going to do to the court system and any corruption? So those in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, call out for action. Start looking at the net. And what I want to do is I want to start canvassing, do more sidelines. I think this is going to go pretty quick. More people involved, safer we'll be, right? Maybe a safer, right? Maybe you can't rule out all of them. Come on out. Pay attention to my events and let's make a difference in Texas. Yeah, I'm going to sign out. What do you think about this? Your powerful words. Be a superhero. Say these words with me. Not guilty. Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Sign off. Have a great day, guys.
Yes, man. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate everybody coming in. Just stay awake. Have a good weekend, and y'all take care, man. It's great. It's a nice day to be outside. It's been windy the last week here, so it's nice to get out. But like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in. Y'all have a good weekend, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care.